Denji is an unlucky orphan who has never had a girlfriend. As he walks to work, it is revealed that he is so unlucky that before dying, his father left him with a massive debt. To survive, he even sells his kidney, his right eye, and one of his balls. Yet the debt still looks like a phone number. His only friend isn't even human, but a puppy named Pochita, with a chainsaw on its head. Using Pochita, he does odd jobs like devil hunting to repay his debt. Right now, with his puppy's chainsaw, he gets ready to kill the strawberry devil. After killing it, an old man appears and says, "Excellent work, Denji." Denji has earned a lot, but with his debt he only gets a fraction. While walking back, he tells Pochita that he has to pay his bills. This means making the money last for the rest of the month. For dinner they will split a bread slice, while a man in his car smokes a cigarette as the old man sits in the back seat. They talk about why he hired Denji. He tells the driver that Denji's dad had a lot of debt and he has to pay it back. He also thinks that Denji is obedient. The driver stops the car next to Denji and tells him he will give him money if he swallows the cigarette, and Denji does it. The old man warns Denji to not skip town as they drive away. Denji takes out the cigarette from his mouth. He pets Pochita. In the shack, they both share a bread slice as Denji says he learnt it's normal to have bread with jam. He also says he will probably never have a girl because his shack isn't romantic. He wishes to be with a girl. Rain is falling from the sky as we see a young Denji in front of a grave. With a car next to him from the car, the old man says he doesn't care that Denji's father killed himself. He still needs 700,000 yen by tomorrow or Denji's dead. When the car goes away, Denji notices Pochita for the first time, who is angry. Denji falls back and says it's a devil. Denji tells him to hurry up and kill him. He then sees that Pochita himself is hurt. Denji tells him to take a bite as he has heard blood fixes wounds for devils. When Pochita bites him, he says that this is a contract and now he has to help him. The next day a dead monster falls in front of the old man. Denji asks to be hired as a devil hunter to pay back the debt. It is present day and Denji is cuddling with Pochita. He can't sleep. Pochita sits on top of Denji as he tells him his dream of sharing jam and bread with him, and a girl to love. Pochita barks at him and right then Denji starts coughing up blood. He says this runs in his family. There is a knock on the door. The old man says he has found another devil for him. We see the city lights go past as the old man drives a Denji. Denji wishes they would let him dream for a little bit longer. The cars drive through the woods to an abandoned factory. Denji walks behind the old man holding Pochita. He asks if the old man is sure he saw a devil here as it seems they are alone. The old man suddenly stops. He says he is grateful for the years of service and that Denji is loyal and obedient like a dog, but he can't tolerate a dog's stench. Right then a zombie puts a sword in Denji's back which goes through him and Pochita. The old man tells Denji he struck a deal with the devil for power as something lifts him up in the air. A huge devil walks out of the shadows and tells Denji he wants to kill all devil hunters. Many zombies walk towards Denji. He tells Denji he is the zombie devil, and these people gave up their freedom for power and are now going to kill him. Denji starts limping away with Pochita in his hand, but more zombies block the way. He turns into an alley and sees an exit. Denji knocks over a locker, but a zombie still catches up to him and slices his back, which makes him fall to the ground. The zombie then puts the knife in his back and continues to stab him many times. Denji is dead in the dumpster and blood rolls down from his mouth into the mouth of Pochita, who opens his eyes. Pochita sees that Denji is waking him up and is cutting trees with the help of Pochita. Denji and Pochita share a slice of bread as he tells him he is afraid what will happen to Pochita when he dies. He tells Pochita to take over his body once he is dead. He asks Pochita to live a normal life and live out his dreams for him. He picks Pochita up in his arms. We see Denji's severed limbs join back together in the dumpster as Pochita has attached himself to Denji's chest. Denji sees Pochita on his chest and asks him if he took over his body. Pochita tells him he always loved hearing his dreams. Pochita gave Denji his heart who woke up opening the dumpster. On his chest he can see a string with a triangle on it. This string resembles Pochita's tail. The zombies look at Denji and the zombie devil is shocked to see him alive. He instructs his zombies to go and eat Denji. Denji asks himself why they wanted more when things were good for them. He remembers how he was happy with Pochita, but wanted more too. The zombies keep running towards him to eat him. Denji grabs the string on his chest and pulls it, but the zombies push him down and start piling up on him. From inside the pile, the zombie devil hears a chainsaw. We see Chainsaw Man cutting through the zombies as their pieces fall. He stands on top of the pile of zombies. The zombie devil realizes what happened and says that he is one of them. Chainsaw Man jumps and puts his blade inside the zombie devil's eye, who pushes him away using his tentacle. Chainsaw Man falls on his feet and a zombie hits him with a rod. He starts cutting through the zombies as the zombie devil grabs a few and throws them at him. He begins to cut all the zombies that are being thrown at him and starts running towards the zombie devil, cutting zombies in his way. He jumps towards the zombie devil, who tries to stop him using his tentacle, but Chainsaw Man cuts through it and puts the blade in his head. He slices the zombie devil down the middle and stands with the blood on his body as the zombies stand around him. Looking at the zombies around him, he thinks to himself that he was here on a job and starts cutting all the zombies left. He keeps cutting all the zombies, and as their blood flies into the air, he laughs manically. We see the sun rise up from behind the mountains as a car rolls up next to the building. 3 people in long coats walk into the abandoned building. They see a Chainsaw Man with blood on him. One of the men tells the girl he is still alive. The girl walks towards him. She tells Chainsaw Man that his scent is neither human nor devil's. She asks him if he was the one that killed the zombies. Chainsaw Man starts falling back, but the girl hugs him. This melts the chainsaws and the mask on his face. She says he is a human. She tells him she is a public safety devil hunter who came to kill the zombie devil. She tells him she can either kill him or he lets her keep him as a human being. She also says that her pets eat delicious food. She tells him she will give him bread and jam for breakfast. He says it is like one of his best dreams ever came true. Denji and the girl are in the backseat of a moving car when his stomach rumbles. She asks him his name and he says it's Denji. The girl tells Denji that he has agreed to become her pet, and from now on he is only allowed to say yes. Denji thinks to himself that he thought this girl was sweet, but she has turned out to be scary. Denji misses Pachita, and his stomach rumbles again. The girl tells him that they will eat at the next rest stop. Denji says he has no money. She tells him it's her treat, and gives him her trench coat. Denji thinks to himself that no one is ever this nice to him. In his head, Denji says that he is now in love. Denji and the girl order food at the restaurant. Denji gets dizzy and falls on her. She asks him if he is okay, and he says maybe he lost some blood too. She asks how he evolved into a human weapon. He tells her he adopted a devil who gave him his heart. She says a devil giving a human's a organ has very few precedents. She says that though it's rare, she believes him. She has a nose that detects things others can't. She says his best friend is still alive inside him. She tells him his body emits 2 smells, one of a human and the other of a devil. Denji gets happy, but he faints again. He wakes up in her lap with food in front of him. She asks if he has the power to eat, and he tells her he will need help. She begins feeding him and asks if he likes it. He barks and she says he's a good boy and is no different from a trained dog. He asks her for her name. She tells him it's Makima. He asks if she has a type in boys. She says she's into Denji type boys. Later in the city we see them walking. Denji is walking behind her, replaying what she said earlier. He says he's into her too. She doesn't hear him. She takes him to the Tokyo HQ for devil hunters. She tells him over 1,000 devil hunters defend the city. She tells him that public safety operatives have the best package. In the lift, Denji keeps thinking about how he likes her. He keeps thinking about how he wants to touch Makima. When they reach their floor, Makima gives Denji a suit to wear. She introduces him to Aki Hayakawa, who he has to shadow. Denji says he thought he will work with her, but Hayakawa grabs him by his collar and drags him. Makima tells him if he performs well they will work together. She then starts knotting his tie and tells him to do his best as they head out to the city. He asks Aki Hayakawa if Makima is single, and he asks him to come with him. He takes him to an alley and punches him. He beats him more and kicks him, which makes Denji fall on garbage bags. While smoking a cigarette, he tells him to quit. He says this job is hard and he will die if he shows up again. He says he knows the sole reason Denji joined the job is Makima. He then throws the cigarette on him and spits on it. He then walks away, but Denji gets up and attacks him from behind, which makes him fall to the ground. Denji continues to kick him on the crotch a couple of times and tells him he had udon for the first time ever today. He says for the first time he was treated like a human, and he feels like he is dreaming, and that he would die to keep this life. Hayakawa gets up and hits Denji, telling him that he is dreaming. He says a woman like Makima is too good for Denji. Denji gets angry and kicks him in the crotch again. Hayakawa tries to get up, but he falls to the ground. In Makima's office, we see Denji holding Hayakawa up. She says they seem close, but they tell her they cannot work together. But Makima orders Hayakawa to put Denji in his squad. She tells him Denji is a human who can also turn into a devil. She says that Denji is special case, and if he ever tries to resign or disobey orders, he will be disposed of like a devil. While walking on the busy street, Hayakawa tells Denji that he will be living with him, so he can keep an eye on him. Denji asks him if he thinks Makima is bad. Hayakawa tells him he should be grateful to her just be alive because he is a devil. Hayakawa tells him she saved his life. Denji thinks about her and says that she is good and he hopes to hug her again. At Hayakawa's place all the jam bottles are open. Denji mixes all of them, takes a bite and says he has created the best toast. Next we see Denji banging the tub while taking a bath, which annoys Hayakawa. He also falls asleep while on the toilet. Hayakawa sees that all the toilet paper is gone. The next day the police surrounds a house which has a fiend in it. Inside the house Denji asks Hayakawa what a fiend is. Hayakawa tells Denji a fiend is devils who takes control of corpses. Denji asks if he is a fiend. Hayakawa says fiends have different facial features. He kicks down the door with the fiend inside. He tells Denji to turn devil and kill this fiend. The fiend runs towards him and using his axe Denji slices its head off. Hayakawa asks him why he didn't turn devil. Denji says, when he does he feels super cruel and messed up. He says he wanted to make it painless. Hayakawa smashes Denji's face on the window and tells him a devil killed his whole family. He tells Denji the cops risked their lives and he wants to see the devils suffer. Denji says he would be friend with a devil if they ask because he has no friends. Hayakawa says he will remember what he said as he walks away. Denji picks up some adult magazines from the floor. He says to the dead devil he is taking them. Denji remembers Pochita and says he is living his dream. He thinks Hayakawa and him don't gel because he isn't living his. Denji thinks about all the nice things he now has but still feels like something's missing. He sees Hayakawa talk to the cops. He thinks about Makima and how he really wants to touch her. The wind blows and moves the curtain in his hair. He thinks to himself if he could go all the way with a girl. He remembers Hayakawa saying he isn't serious, but he is serious about women. Hayakawa asks him to pay attention. They are in Makima office now. She tells him he will have a new partner. We see a woman walking in a corridor as Makima tells him she's a fiend. The door opens and the woman calls them scums. She says that her name is Power. Denji says a fiend devil hunter is breaking a rule but then notices she is a woman and is fine with it. Makima says Power is highly rational so she has appointed her. In the next scene Power and Denji are on the roof because Power has horns and she needs to stay away from the public. Power slaps Denji and tells him she wants blood. Denji thinks he can put up with her because she is hot enough. They walking into the police on a balcony. Denji shows them his ID and tells them they are devil hunters. The police leaves them alone. Denji wonders where the devils are. Power tells Denji the devils can probably sense her and are hiding. Denji remembers it's Hayakawa that paired them and thinks it's to get him fired. Power says she smells blood and runs away. Denji notices how fast she is. We see a man in the payphone with a huge monster outside it. Power jumps from the roof and creates a hammer out of her blood and smashes the monster. She laughs hysterically as Denji looks at her from the roof. A cleaning service is cleaning up the blood from the streets. Makima is sitting there with Power and Denji. She tells them that going after a devil hunter's target is obstruction and asks Denji to keep Power under control. She says Power may not be fit for devil hunting. Power gets scared and starts blaming Denji, which pisses him off. Power tells Makima Denji asked her to kill the devil. Denji says she's lying. Power says devils don't lie. That's a human's thing. Denji says she's lying about lying and Power gets mad and starts shoving him. Makima asks them to keep it down. She tells them they need to work as a pair and Power agrees. In the next scene we see them in a supermarket and Denji buys himself a can of cola. A cat shows up next to Power. While drinking Denji thinks this is a dream come true for him. Power pets the cat and tells Denji she only likes cats. She hates both humans and devils. A devil took her pet cat away. She says before she could save her cat Makima caught her. She will even ally with mortals if it means getting back her cat. Denji says he would do anything to touch breasts. Power tells Denji she would let him touch her breasts if he saves her cat. Suddenly, Denji gets motivated to do so. He starts cursing the devil that took her cat and tells Power that he will kill him. At the Tokyo headquarters, Power and Denji take a paid leave. Power isn't allowed to go out alone. They take a train and Power tells Denji that she knows where her cat Meowie is. But only Denji can fight them because if they see Power then her cat's dead. Denji tells Power about Pochita and how he lives in his heart, but Power tells him he is stupid. She says he is just comforting himself. Denji tells her she's right but thinks to himself that they will never get along together. In the next scene we see a board meeting in the headquarters. The board asks Makima how the devils she hired are doing. She tells them one is promising and one is her pet. The board tells her to not get attached to them. In the next scene at a red light we see Hayakawa driving Makima. He asks her why she has such high hopes for Denji. And the light turns green. Makima sips of her coffee and says that a coffee devil would be weak, but a car devil would be strong. She says it's interesting that Denji is only part devil, and on top of that he is a chainsaw devil. Hayakawa says that doesn't make him useful. He says that Denji only wants live the good life. We see Pao and Denji arrive at their location. Power points out the house with the devil and her cat. Denji says he's ready and they start walking towards the house. He tells her about his chainsaws, but she doesn't believe him. Denji asks if she should hide because she told him the devil will kill the cat if he saw her. Power says that she lied. Power then attacks Denji with her blood hammer and Denji faints. Power says that Denji had sharp instincts. She then drags Denji by his feet, who leaves a bloody trail from his bleeding head until they reach the inside of the house. We hear Power bargaining her freedom with a red-eyed devil. The devil picks Denji up and tells him that humans cut one of his arms. He tells Denji he will drink his blood and puts him above his mouth. He squeezes Denji, which makes him puke blood into the devil's mouth. The devil finds his taste repulsive, but it still heals his hand. He breaks the ceiling and stands on roof thirsty for human blood. Power looks up at the devil. Denji remembers Hayakawa told him he wants to be buddies with devils, and this angers him. Power tells Denji that he is a foolish species. In the next scene, we see a crowd of humans at a train station. The devil smells children and decides to eat them. Power tells the Bat Devil she gave him a human, hence her cat should be freed. The devil dangles her cat and says he has to punish her for bringing such a bad-tasting human and eats Meowie. In the next scene we see Power sitting on top of a dead bear. She picks Meowie up and tells her she will fatten her up before she feasts. She gives Meowie milk and is eager for the day she will eat her. That night Meowie jump up and sit on Power's chest. Power thinks about the screams of other animals she killed. She finds it strange that Meowie likes her. The devil picks Meowie up from her chest and tells her he will eat Meowie if she doesn't bring him a human. We see Power stand there present day. She looks at Denji and says she understands how he feels about Pachita now. She feels terrible. The devil picks her up and he eats her. He complains about the taste and spreads his wings. He thinks about children's blood and starts flying towards the city. He thinks about all the humans he will finally eat. He notices that Denji is grabbing on his foot. He throws him into his hand and Denji grabs his string. He remembers how one time Pachita went missing. Denji searched everywhere, and when Denji got home he found Pachita crying. He slept holding him and felt relieved. He thinks about how Power must have slept away from Meowie. He pulls his chain and puts the chainsaw in the Bat Devil's arm. He cuts open the devil's arm in two. In the next scene we see a lady working in her office when something falls on the building. The lady sees Denji and the Bat Devil. Denji tells the lady to run away because the Bat Devil is hungry. Chainsaw Man gets up and punches the devil in the face, who goes through the walls and falls on the road. Denji jumps out the building. The devil tries to hit Denji, but Denji dogas and slices him on his chest. The devil tries again but hits the road instead, which turns a building into dust. Through the dust the devil hits Denji, who sees a father protecting his daughter. He tells them to run away and hits the devil in his face. The devil asks why he's saving humans and picks up a car with a human in it and throws it at him. Denji catches the car in his hands. He says he doesn't care about the guy in the car and throws it at the devil. The car hits the devil in his face and blows up. The devil's face is on fire and he lets out a huge scream. The sound waves pushes Denji back into buildings. The devil picks up a human, and as he is about to eat him he hears chainsaws in the dust. Says he wants Denji dead. Denji walks out the cloud of dust and says he's been so patient, but he still hasn't found a single woman yet. The devil drops the human from his hand. He picks up a rock and throws it at Denji, who slices through the rock easily. He then jumps towards the devil. The devil throws a punch, but Denji puts his chainsaw through his hand. The devil falls back. Denji jumps in the air and points his blades at him. He slices through his stomach and the devil falls down with his guts out as his blood rains on top of Chainsaw Man. In the woods, Power is drinking the blood of birds. She is eating a cows and in the night sees a bear in the river. She then drinks blood from the headless bear's body, and in the morning is walking home with Meowie, who jumps on her. Power is carrying the bear's head through and Meowie sits on her arm. In the next scene we see the devil holding Meowie. We see Power running on the road to find a human so she can save Meowie. Her foot gets stuck in a crevice and she falls. She bleeds from her hand and thinks blood is nice and warm. She suddenly sees Meowie in her cage in the devil's stomach. When she opens her eyes again, she's in Denji's hands. The remains of the devil are scattered around her. Shez asks Denji why he saved her. Denji points to her breasts and honks his hands. Power says it's a foolish reason. She asks Denji to forgive her for lying and says since Meowie is safe, he can touch her chest. Denji starts screaming and celebrating when suddenly his arm gets cut off from his body. He screams in pain and a long insect-like thing comes and picks his hand up. He sees a huge devil who eats his hand. Denji looks up at this huge devil. He asks Power if she can move and she tells him she can't. He pulls his string but his chainsaws don't come out the whole way. He thinks it's because he doesn't have enough blood. The devil asks if he is the one who killed Batty. She tells him she is Batty's girlfriend and has now found him dead. She tells Denji that he is pretty, so she will let him go, but Power and Meowie will have to die. Denji gets ready to fight her. She attacks Denji, but he runs away. She then hits the road, which makes him fly up. She grabs him mid-air and throws him, which makes an electric pole fall down. Denji makes a run, but she destroys the walls in Denji's path. She then sweeps her arm at Denji. Power is looking at the fight. Denji has blocked the sweep using his arm. He jumps up in the air and punches the devil, who then punches him back and he falls to the ground. The devil then says she can't believe that someone like him killed Batty. She tells him they had dreams of eating humans together. Denji tells her he will keep fighting until he has touched boobs. Denji thinks about all the time people told him as being unserious. The devil tries to attack him, but he runs up her arm and slashes her neck. He falls to the ground and says everyone always talks bad about what he wants, but what they want is equally stupid. He says they aren't better than him, and by defeating this devil he will prove it. The devil says he is so cute that she wants to eat him. He says if she can beat him then she can do whatever. He jumps up at her but slides off. He then grabs Batty's intestine and starts running around her. He pulls one end of the intestine and ties the devil's legs up. He jumps and slices her neck again. She starts punch Denji repeatedly. Looking at Denji's face, Power thinks to herself that has a demon. Both Denji and the devil laugh and start attacking each other. The devil can't see Denji, who hides in the intestines. He jumps up and grabs the devil's hair and puts his blade in her, but she puts his tongue through his body. The devil is going to eat Denji, but then we see Hayakama looking at them. He calls for Kon and a huge fox eat the demon. Kon asks Hayakama if she can swallow, and he allows it. Kon then disappears, leaving a lot of white mist everywhere, and we see the devil hunters. Hayakawa asks the rookie devil hunters to aid and evacuate survivors. Then he asks Himano to watch for more devils as a senior. He then picks Denji up. He then orders Meowie to a full vet checkup. In the next scene, Denji wakes up in a hospital. Hayakama is sitting next to him and tells him they found his arm and it reattached itself when he got blood. Denji asks about Kon and Hayakama tells him he has a contract with her. He feeds it parts of his body in order to use its powers. Denji reaches for the apples, but Hayakama pulls the plate away. He tells him all devils and fiends want to eat humans. Denji says Power is a good one. Hayakama tells Denji that through his investigation he knows she tried to kill him. He says he baffled that Denji sympathizes with her. He then remembers how Denji saved a lot of people. He tells him if he told people then Denji and Power will be killed. He tells Denji if he agrees to one condition then he will let this slide. He gives the apples to Denji and asks him to follow all of his orders. He tells Denji if he wants to protect his lifestyle then he will listen to him. Denji takes a bite of the apple and tells him he will keep that in his mind. While finishing the apple, Denji says that he can count on him. Hayakama leaves the room and Power and Himano are waiting outside. Power says that now that he knows she is innocent, he should take off her handcuffs. Himano asks, what if Power kills someone? Hayakawa removes her handcuffs and says they are still the enemy but they are using them, and he is not their friend. Back in Tokyo headquarters, we see Hayakawa walking towards Makima's office. He is going to knock but he suddenly stops and sets hit tie and hair in the glass. He then knocks and Makima asks him to come in. He begins telling Makima what has happened today. He tells her everything, but hides what Power did. Makima says she is concerned because Denji and Power left their area. Hayakawa asks her to overlook it because they got two devils. Makima agrees and Hayakawa turns around to leave. But Makima says she wonders why he is more flexible these days. Hayakawa tells her he is the same guy he has always been and walks out. When he is outside the building he looks at the city and sighs. The next morning we see Hayakawa's alarm clock go off. He wakes up and opens his balcony. He starts making some coffee for himself, washes his face and brushes his teeth. He grinds his coffee, puts it in a filter, adds hot water. He takes his coffee and the newspaper in the balcony. He sits on a chair and keeps his cigarettes on the table and reads the newspaper and sees Denji come out of his room. We see Hayakama tie his hair and put clothes in the washing machine. Denji enjoys his breakfast while Hayakama cleans the house. He starts chopping potatoes and Denji asks what's for lunch. Right then we hear banging on the door. Someone punches the handle and the door open and it's Power and her cat. We see Makima telling Hayakawa on the phone that Power will now live with them. She tells him she trusts him more than anyone else. Hayakawa says okay. Makima tells him she will be on her best behavior. We see Power throw a vegetable from her food and Denji catches it. Hayakama tells her to not throw her food, and Denji asks her to respect the farmers that grew it. Power says she won't flush or take a bath, which doesn't sit right with Denji and Hayakawa. Power holds her cat and tells them they are too sensitive in the night. Hayakawa is dealing with the clothes while Denji unclogs the toilet. Power stands behind Denji and he calls her the shit devil. She points to her chest and squeezes her hand. She tells Denji they had a deal. She walks in the bathroom and sits on the toilet seat. She squeezes her chest and asks Denji if he is ready. Denji goes down on his knees and she tells him she will let him squeeze her Fae times for protecting Miaoi, killing the devil and protecting her. She says she has no intentions of letting her do this first, but she should repay him. Denji thinks to himself that she is an angel. In the bathroom, Denji is nervous to touch Power's chest. He raises his hands up and moves them towards her. He squeezes her boobs and she says it feels nice. Something falls from under her shirt, and Denji asks what it is. Power tells him it's a pad of the bra. She tells him to grope her a second time and Denji grabs her chest. She tells him to do it for the last time and he grabs her again. She tells him that was it and thanks him for Miaoi. Denji stands there speechless. Power says she knows the pleasure is all his and walks out. It's morning but Denji is on his bed with his eyes open. We see Power finish her meal. She then grabs food of Denji's plate. In the next scene we see them walking on the street and Denji is still speechless. In the headquarters, Makima is making Denji stamp reports. He is sitting there with his mouth wide open. Makima asks Denji what he's thinking, and Denji says he finally made one of his dreams come true. But he wonders if he was actually happier chasing it than getting it. Makima asks her what's the dream he achieved and he tells her he touched someone's chest. Makima thinks of something. She takes Denji's hand and holds it up. She says in sexual matters the better you understand someone, the better it feels. She holds his hand and tells him to study them. She then moves his hand closer to her face. She makes her touch her ears. She then bites his finger and tells him to remember in case he loses his vision. This way he can remember her just from how hard she bites. Denji then rubs her lips with his thumb. She then moves his hand and places it on her chest. He squeezes them and then falls back on the ground. She comes and sits on him and moves really close to his lips and whispers that she would like to ask him for a favor. Denji says sure, and she gets up and sits back on the chair. She tells him she wants him to hunt down the gun devil. She tells him this is a dangerous devil, but she thinks only he can defeat it. She tells him that if he proves her right then she make any of his wishes come true. Denji asks if he kills this devil will she do whatever he wishes. Makima says yes. He asks again if he can wish for anything, and Makima will do it. Makima nods her head and tells him he can wish for anything. She tells him it's only on the table because this devil is such a big threat. She tells him to hunt devils. They used to have guns, but it turned the people violent. She tells him that there was an attack in America and the same day the gun devil appeared. We see a little kid and his parents. The older brothers asks them to play with him, but they can't cause his younger brother is sick. This makes him angry. His parents tell him he isn't being a good brother, but Taiyo says he wants to go outside and play with him. We see them walking in the snow and the older brother asks Taiyo to stop following him. He even throws a snowball at him. Taiyo throws a ball back and it hits the older brother's face. Both of them start having a snowball fight. Taiyo looks at his hands and says it's freezing. His older brother tells him that if he gets sick then the parents will blame him. He tells Taiyo to get gloves from his house. They will lay catch. Taiyo gets happy and runs home, while his older brother waits. As soon as Taiyo goes inside, the house flies into the air. Makima tells Denji that this was the gun devil's doing. She tells him that after this the gun control laws became more strict. Denji says he thinks this devil may be too powerful, but if he tries super hard then it's possible. Makima tells him they will pinpoint its location by using pieces of its body that she has. She tells him these pieces stick to each other. She also tells him eating it will make a devil stronger, so if she can find more parts they will lead them to the gun devil. We see that Hayakawa has found another bullet in Fish Devil's body. Himeno says that this is why the Fish Devil grew so big. Hayakawa says they have to find more, and we realize it was his family that the gun devil killed. In the next scene we see a hotel that has a devil inside it. Hayakawa drops the bullet piece and dangles it from a string. We see Special Division Faye and the bullet moving towards the hotel. Denji asks if it is the gun devil. Hayakawa tells him the attraction in the bullet is too small. He tells Denji and Power to behave and they start arguing with him. He gives them a chewing gum and this makes them both shut up. Hirokazu asks Hayakawa if they can trust these two. Hayakawa tells them they are just here to take points and if they try to run or double cross them they will die. Denji and Power turn around and talk about if Hayakawa is still mad about the morning's prank. Hayakawa gets mad but Himeno tells him to let loose. Denji says he wants a reward as the last time he almost died. Himeno says that she will put up a reward and whoever kills this devil will get to kiss her. Hirokazu says this is a lewd reward but Himeno says it doesn't matter. Denji thinks about everything Makima taught him. and tells her he will pass too, but he has plenty of moral because when he gets the gun devil, he will plenty of kisses. He also says he learnt that the more you know someone the better it is, and he doesn't know Himeno, so he doesn't care. Himeno whispers in Denji's ear that if he is the one that wins then she will slip him a little tongue. We see Denji running eagerly and Hirokazu behind him. He stops Denji by pining him to the wall using his elbow, and tells him he has worked under Himeno for 6 months, so if someone is gonna kiss her it's him. We see Power and Kabani run towards the fight. Hayakawa asks what Himeno thinks about her rookies. She says that Hirokazu is really motivated, and Kobani has ability but she is really timid. Hayakawa says even if he thinks they are strong most rookies die within a year. Himeno looks at him and says you best not die on Miyaki, which makes Hayakawa think about the first time they met. Himeno is standing in front of a grave and a man introduces her to her new partner. He says he trained him to be of use. A young Aki introduces himself. Himeno asks if he is actually useful and he says yes. She tells him that all of her other partners died because they were useless. Then she says you best not die on Miyaki. We see Hayakawa and the crew walking in the hotel's corridor. Himeno stops and tells them it's coming. A door opens and a man's head on 2 hands walks out. The devil looks at them and jumps towards them. Himeno says she got it and the devil stops mid-air. Power takes a sword and slices it into 2. Power says the devil froze in mid-air, but Himeno tells her she did it. She tells her she has a contract with a ghost devil and she gave it an eye. She says she has invisible powers. She asks Aki if he can detect any gun flesh and he says no, so they decide to move to the next floor. While Power is complaining about Himeno boasting her powers, she asks what Himeno will do if she kills Kobani, but then something grabs her throat. Himeno is holding her hand up and when Power tries to grab the hand holding her neck, it just goes through the air. Himeno lets go and tells her it will be easy if they got along. They go to the next floor and Hirokazu sees a lot of blood on the wall. He suddenly rushes back to the stairs. Aki asks him what's the problem, and he says he is sure they were moving to the 9th floor, but they are still on the 8th. He says he will double check and he runs down the stairs, but he comes back from the stairs above. Himeno says that she just saw him go down and Kobani screams, "No, no, no." After seeing Arai enter the same floor he had left, the Special Division 4 look confused and terrified. Himeno asks Kobani to hold up peace signs and runs to the floor downstairs, only to re-enters the same floor. Aki says this must be the work of a devil. He enters a room and sees another room on the other side of the window. He opens the window and walks out the door to the other side only to enter behind Kobani into the same corridor. Aki says that they are trapped on the 8th floor. In the next scene the whole squad are in a room and Aki is explaining that the elevators don't work and even breaking through the ceiling leads to the same floor. Denji blames Power for killing a devil earlier and thinks it must be its spell. Aki tells him that a devil's spell dies with it too. Himeno asks if the flesh piece is reacting and Aki tells her no. She says the devil doing this has some tricks. Ari is worried about the headquarters sending more agents. Himeno says she hopes they don't find themselves in the same situation, and Kobani is really scared. Ara tells her to calm down. Kobani tells him her parents forced her to get a job for her little brother, and it was either being a devil hunter or a sex worker. She starts crying and says she wanted to go to a college, but instead she is going to die. Power begins laughing at her. Ari tells Power to stop laughing and Himeno starts consoling Kobani. She notices Aki and asks him what he is thinking. He tells her that the clocks on the floor have said 8:18 for a while now, and he thinks time on the 8th floor has been frozen by a devil's power. Denji gets excited, and he says they can sleep for however long they want now. Ari calls him stupid, but Denji just tells him to wake him when they know something. He says that the bed is really comfortable and in no time falls asleep. Aki says he can't believe that Denji really fell asleep. In the next scene Himeno is waking Denji up, who asks if they found a way off the 8th floor. She tells him they didn't, but they figured out that the water is running normally and found some food in a luggage. She tells him Aki has been working tirelessly to find the devil, and that Arai had a panic attack. Kobani was crying too much so Himeno knocked her out. Power says that she is thinking of how to win a Nobel Prize to battle boredom. She says once she will become the Prime Minister and will implement a 100% sales tax. They decide to take turns guarding Arai and Kobani. Both of them are in beds and we see Denji, Power and Himeno look at them from the window adjacent room. Himeno lights up her last cigarette. Power tells her she is disappointed by her calm demeanor. She says it's because of the nicotine. Denji says she smokes the same brand as Aki does, and she tells him that she's the one that taught him how to smoke. In the next scene we see a thermal airship. A young Himeno asks Aki if he's gonna smoke with her. He says no. Himeno says she knows he became a devil hunter to kill the gun devil. She says devil hunters don't have a long life, so smoking isn't gonna kill him. He still says no. She tells him that she doesn't want to lose her partner either. In the next scene, we see a woman has just slaved Himeno. Aki asks her what happened. She says that it was her late partner's ex-girlfriend and she is taking it out on her. She tells Aki it sucks, but she can't really do anything. Aki walks away, and when he returns, Himeno asks him where he went. He tells her he went after that woman and stuck gum on her. He asks Himeno to not feel guilty cause she deserved it. Himeno starts laughing, and later we see them having dinner. Himeno tells him her master taught her the best devil hunters are the ones with loose screws. Aki asks if she was insulting him. She puts a cigarette in front of him and tells him she thinks they will be partners for very long, so it would be better if he smokes with her. After thinking about it a little, Aki grabs the cigarette and tells her this is his first and last one. In the next scene, Aki enters the hotel room and asks for a cigarette. Himeno says it's her last one. Aki says the rest of it is his, and she puts the cigarette in his mouth. Denji says he got an indirect kiss for free. Aki tells him to shut up. He tells them he has some bad news. The devil they had killed has now grown in size. All of them run to the corridor and see the devil in front of them. Himeno asks what kind of devil is it. The devil starts talking and says that he hopes they will be smart enough to accept his contract. He says if they feed him Denji dead or alive, he will let the rest of them walk out untouched. The room's door opens, and Kobeni walks out with a knife in her hand and starts running towards Denji. But Aki kicks the knife out of her hand and Himeno hits her stomach and knocks her out. She tells Aki to swallow it with the fox devil, but he doesn't show up. Himeno says that it's fine and her ghost will handle it. She starts pulling his skin off, but this just makes it grow larger in size. The devil tells them that this isn't his main body. He tells that they are inside his stomach and he is invulnerable on the 8th floor. Denji says he is just lying about letting the rest of them out. Himeno tells Denji that he said it's a contract, which means it will have to let them out. A devil has to always keep a contract. Ari comes out of the room and says they should let him have Denji so they can go out and regroup. Aki tells him that they are turning down the contract power, says she wants Denji to die so she can win her Nobel Prize. But Aki tells her fiends can't make contracts with a devil. He says teams kill Denji is disbanded and as devil hunters they will only kill devils. The clock is still stuck at 8:18. Denji, Aki and Himeno are sitting in the corridor. Aki says based on what the devil told them they can't kill it. Himeno says, so they will just starve. Aki says he might just use his sword, but Himeno tells him no. Denji says if his sword can fix it he should, but Himeno say that she would rather feed the devil Denji. Ari is in the room and all of the food is gone, but he is really hungry. He looks at Power who is chewing the last of it. Kobeni comes in with her knife and starts blaming Power for the situation. Ari tries to calm her down, but she says that he is working with Power as a spy. Ari denies it, but Kobeni runs to him and screams that she knows what he is. This scares Ari. Denji, Himeno, and Aki start running back to the room while being chased by the devil who has grown stronger because of their fear. We see how afraid Ari and Kobeni are. The devil says that the one killing the chainsaw will be him and calls himself the Eternity Devil. Suddenly the whole hotel starts tilting and we see stuff fall off from their places, till the hotel is in a 180-degree angle with the devil at the bottom of the corridor. From the other side of the corridor, Kobeni and Arai ask them to kill Denji. Aki says he's going to use his sword and turns to ask Himeno, but she constrains him using her ghost hands. Denji asks her what the problem is and she says although they will escape if he uses the sword it will cut Aka's lifespan. Arai runs from behind and holds Denji down. Kobeni lifts her knife and runs to attack him, but Aki stops her and the blade ends up going in his ribs. Everyone is shocked and Aki pushes Kobeni away. He starts bleeding a lot and in the blood's reflection we see Himeno's face. Aki says that even though Denji is a prick he wants the gun devil dead. And Aki needs his help cause he can't kill it by himself. He says he won't let Denji die. Denji asks Power if as the blood fiend she can't stop his bleeding. She says she only controls her own blood, but she will try because she obligated to. Himeno remembers her dead partners and goes down on her knees and asks what they will do now. Kobeni gets up and says that it's not her fault and none of this would happen if not for Denji. Denji gets up and decides to jump in the devil's mouth. He says he won't just let the devil eat him, so if he beats the devil he still wants his kiss. Power asks if he has a plan and he tells her he will use his chainsaws. Denji looks down at the devil and prepares to jump. He says he will hurt the devil till it wants to kill itself. He looks at Aki and tells him to mind his own business the next time and that he doesn't want favors. He tells Aki that they will be even once he's out of here. He pulls on his string and jumps into the devil's mouth. Denji and the crew are in the corridor and Aki is bleeding. He tells Aki he doesn't want favors and that once he is out of here they are even. He pulls his string and jumps into the devil's mouth, who closes it with its teeth. Denji then puts a blade up his teeth and comes out again. Denji starts cutting whatever he can make contact with, but the devil pushes him back and grabs him with its many hands and breaks his arm. He then runs and puts his blades into one of the face's eyes. He starts cutting whatever he can and the devil tells him no matter what he won't cut its heart. Looking down at Denji, Himeno says he is a devil. Power says he needs to pay attention to his blood loss, otherwise his chainsaws will contract. One of the devil's faces bites him on his shoulder. The devil says that he is even weaker than he was before. Denji is being held up by the many mouths of the devil, and he has lost his chainsaws. Denji bites the devil. He eats the devil's meat and his chainsaws come back. He puts them into the devil's face and says his blood tasted gross, but hearing him scream made it worthwhile. We see Himeno as she remembers her master telling her at a graveyard that the best devil hunters are the ones that have a few loose screws. Kishibe tells her that her partners died because they were sane enough to fear devils. This made the devils stronger. He then asks her if Aki is sane. She says he is after the gun devil, which must mean he is insane. He tells her most hunters dream of killing the gun devil, and she isn't the exception. He says that devils know what sane hunters will do, but crazy hunters leave the devils guessing. He takes a sip from his flask and Himeno tells him he is drinking too much. Kishibe tells her she's being sane again and she should let her screws loose. While leaving, he tells her to train Aki well and that she can't take too much time as he is serious about catching the gun devil and soon he will meet it. A strong wind blows and flower petals fly in the air. Himeno starts repeatedly saying no as she fears losing Aki. Later we see her asking Aki to be a private sector hunter at lunch. Aki tells her he has no intent of going private and asks her for her tofu. She says she will trade it for a cigarette, and he gives her one. While smoking, she thinks to herself Aki will die if he faces the gun devil because he is cool, serious, kind, and he is normal like other people. We come back to the present where Denji is fighting the devil. He gets hit in the head and faints. We see Himeno's ghost hand pick him up by his string. Denji gets conscious and says fountains of blood explodes from the devil, and he drinks it and is re-energized, which means he could do this forever. He starts cutting the devil and Himeno thinks to herself how Denji is actually crazy, so he might just beat the gun devil while Denji continues to fight. After some time, Himeno is looking down and Ri is covered in a blanket. Kobani lost in thought. Himeno gets up and says, Aki, you didn't die on me, did you? Aki says not yet, and asks her how long it's been. Himeno tells her it's been 3 days since he got stabbed. She says it's almost over and cuddles him. We see that the devil is in so much pain he has revealed his heart and is begging Denji to kill him. Denji says he was having so much fun. Then he slices his heart and we see all of them come out of the hotel. Denji thinks to himself he made it and he also found a piece of the gun devil. Denji feels really proud, but he faints. Himeno catches him and says she would be tired too if she fought for 3 days and carries Denji on her back. She tells Arai and Kobani they will take Aki and Denji to the hospital. Later, Himeno is telling Aki, who is looking through a devil's remains, about a party she wants to throw. She also tells him that Arai and Kobani are moving to private security because they wanted to kill their teammate. He says that at one point she also wanted to kill Denji. She says apologizing to Denji and convincing them to stay will be easier over drinks. Aki says she just wants to get wasted as he finds a tiny gun chunk. He says her party has to be this week because he wants to invite Makima. She's going out of town next week to recruit backup for Denji. Himeno asks him what he thinks Denji is. She says she has never seen anything like his chainsaws, but the devil recognized it. She says she wonders why Makima cares. She tells Aki that Makima likes to travel, but she is staying in Tokyo for Denji. In the next scene we see them in a pub drinking beer. Looking at all the food, Denji says he doesn't even know where to start. Power is protecting her food from people nearby. Kobani comes in late and a lady asks her to sit with her. Himeno says that Makima will be late too. Kobani says she hasn't had anything this tasty. The lady asks her to eat her fill. Power picks up a plate and says it's hers. A man asks Denji to order, but he is struggling to read the menu. Denji asks Himeno about the kiss, and she tells him she will kiss him when she is drunk. She asks him to forgive them, and says she will make the kiss extra juicy. A man asks Denji to introduce himself as it's a rookie party. Himeno asks Denji to not be shy. Denji starts introducing himself and says he is 16. The lady next to Kobani says that he's so young. Arai introduces himself and says he has a contract with the Fox Devil. Denji asks if it's the same devil that works with Aki. Aki says the fox devil has many contacts with humans. Then Kobeni introduces herself and says that her contract is a secret. Himeno asks Fushi where his rookie is. He tells her they died yesterday. Arai asks if new recruits really die so easily. The lady from across the table tells him that she is the only one alive from her orientation group. Himeno says that Denji didn't die because he wanted kisses. Denji sees Himeno chug the whole mug of beer and says he is about to have his first kiss. Makima, who has just entered, hears him. Aki asks Makima to sit. Makima asks Denji if he will kiss someone today. He screams no, to which Himeno asks her if he doesn't want to kiss her. Denji says yes. Makima orders another beer and asks Denji who's kissing who. Denji thinks to himself that he doesn't want Makima to see him, but he does want to kiss Himeno. He decides to change the subject. He says he found the gun's devil piece. Aki says that this devil just wanted Denji and he thinks that Makima knows why that is. Makima finishes her beer and says if he manages to outdrink her she will tell him. Aki orders more beer and Himeno says she's playing too. Power and Denji order more food. After a while Himeno and Aki have given up but Makima orders another beer. Power says she can suppress her urge to kill because of her IQ. She says her IQ is 120. Fushi says his IQ is higher. She says hers is 500 then. Himeno gets up and starts kissing Denji. Denji sees that Makima is looking at him. He thinks to himself that Himeno's tongue feels good, but she pukes in his mouth. The lady and Power start laughing. Makima asks the waiter for a towel. Power says that if it holds nutritional value he has to swallow, and Denji swallows her puke. In the next scene we see Pachita and Denji dumpster diving and sharing a burger. They see a few rats eating puke next to them. Denji laughs at them and says he feels sorry for them. Then we see Denji puking after what has happened. He has tears in his eyes. Ari tells Denji that he is jealous of how good a hunter he is. Denji replies to him by saying he waited 16 years for his first kiss, only for it to taste like puke, and he continues to vomit. Outside the bar Fushi asks everyone to thank Makima for paying for them. Kobeni says the best alcohol is the one someone else paid for. Makima asks where Denji is and Fushi tells her Himeno took him with her. Denji wakes up and he doesn't know where he is. Himeno sits on him and kisses him. She wonders how he got in her room, but soon realizes she probably bought him with her. She tells Denji he can do way better than Makima and Aki can too. She lays next to Denji and starts touching his face. She gets close to his ear and asks him if he wants to do it. A drunk Himeno brings Denji in her room by carrying him on her back. She puts him on the bed and falls on top of him. She then gets up. She then takes off his sandals and throws them at the entry gate. She then goes into the bathroom and starts taking her clothes off. We hear her humming as she takes a shower and Denji sleeps on the bed. She then takes out more beer from the fridge. Denji says he needs some water from his bed. Himeno sits on top of him and drinks her beer. She then puts beer in his mouth from her mouth. She says that it's weird that Denji is in her room. She then says it's probably because she brought him. Denji says that he is really dizzy. She tells Denji he can do way better than Makima and Aki can too. She tells him to move on. Denji looks up at Himeno. She lays right next to him and starts touching his face. She goes near his ear and asks him if he wants to do it. Denji asks her do what, and she says make love. She asks Denji to raise her hands and starts taking his shirt off. Denji thinks about how he wanted his first kiss to be Makima, and if he wants his first time to be with Himeno. His shirt comes off and he looks at Himeno and says yes. She lays him flat on his back. She goes down and starts unbuckling them. She slowly opens his zip and notices something in his pants pocket. It's a dirty lollipop. We see a flashback of the bar and Makima is asking Denji if he is okay, and if he wants some fresh air. Denji is waiting outside in the streets, and Makima comes with a polythene in her hand. She tells Denji she got medicines for him. Denji is sad about his first and thinks all girls will taste like vomit. Makima puts her lollipop in his mouth and tells him she doubts he will ever forget that taste, but every day he will experience a new flavor. She says his first indirect kiss tasted like lollipop. We see Denji holding the lollipop while sleeping on the floor at night. He says that sex will have to wait until he kills the gun devil. The next morning, Himeno wakes Denji up and asks if he is hungry. They both eat in the balcony. She asks him if they did it last night. Denji says he's saving himself for Makima. She tells him that most guys would have bailed on a situation like this. He says he wouldn't miss a free breakfast. She asks him if he would still like Makima if he learned her true character is shitty. He says he loves shit. She offers him a deal. She says that she will help her get with Makima, and in return he helps her with Aki. Denji asks what she likes about him. She says he is hot. Denji crosses his arm and accepts her deal. She says they are now friends and tells him to have breakfast at her place sometimes and bring his roommates also. Denji asks if Makima will join them. In the next scene we see a train. Inside, Makima's assistant sits next to her. She says she can't think of anything worse than meeting Kyoto's bosses. She also remembers last night's drinks and says they were great. The train enters a tunnel. Some passengers shot Makima and her assistant. We hear a voice over the phone say that their mission has begun back in Tokyo. We see Denji, Power, Aki and Himeno eating food, and that everything is normal. We see many different devil hunters on their missions, but everyone they are helping has a gun on them. All of them take out their guns and point them at the devil hunters. We hear gunshots and all the devil hunters die. At lunch, Denji asks what that sound was. Power says it was a drum and asks Himeno if she did it with Denji. Himeno tells her that Denji is gentleman. A man from another table asks how they are eating that ramen. Denji says this ramen tastes good. He says that Denji can't differentiate between food. He says that his granddad took him to the best restaurant, and that he was a Yakuza guy, but he had principles. He shows him a photo of his granddad. It's Denji's debt collector. The man gets up and tells Denji that the gun devil is after his heart and shoots him. The bullet hits Denji in the head. He shoots a Himeno too, but then Power gives him a uppercut. Aki calls Kon and he takes a big bite, destroying the building. Aki sees Denji laying there with a bullet in his head and Himeno heavily injured. Kon tells Aki that what she has in her mouth is neither human nor a devil. Kon's face gets cut open and from inside and out comes Katana Man. Aki tells Power to stop Himeno from bleeding. Aki pokes the Katana Man with his sword and we see a devil say 3. Katana Man starts running towards Aki. Aki puts his sword in him and the mysterious devil says 2. He pokes him again and the devil says 1. Katana Man kicks Aki. While on the ground, Aki says curse, finish it. The mysterious devil says 0 and holds Katana Man up in the air. We see Katana Man in the cursed devil's hand and the next thing we see is him dead on the floor. Aki asks Power how is Himeno. Power says she needs a doctor. Aki says he doesn't know how he got a gun. He remembers that he told Denji that the gun devil is after his heart. A girl suddenly says to Aki that if he stabs someone the cursed devil shows up and kills them. Aki asks who she is. She then puts her hand on Katana Man, and Katana Man gets up and stands. Akane asks Katana Man if he knows why he lost and tells him to kill them this time. Katana Man and Aki get ready to fight. Suddenly Katana Man appears behind Aki. After a second we see a blade go through him. Aki drops to his knees and Katana Man stands behind him. Akane tells Katana Man that he is still alive and that devil hunters are really durable. Himeno asks Power to save Aki, but she says that he moves too quickly. She then asks her ghost hand, but even it is scared of the girl. Himeno says she will the ghost everything she has got and asks for everything it's got in return. The ghost hand turns into many hands and start walking towards him. Katana Man sees the giant ghost devil who starts attacking him with its many hands. Himeno's hand disappears and the ghost devil, using its many hands, hold Katana Man in his place. Katana Man asks for help, and Himeno holds her up towards the ghost devil, when suddenly her other arm also disappears. Aki looks at Himeno. She tells him that he has to stay alive to cry at her funeral. Suddenly both her legs disappear. Akaning calls the snake devil, who comes and eats the ghost devil's head. Akaning then asks it to return and he disappears. Aki sees that Himeno has completely disappeared. Himeno looks at the ghost devil fight with Katana Man. Himeno raises her hand up towards the ghost devil who holds Katana Man in its many hands. Akaning gets ready to call the snake devil. Himeno's hand suddenly disappears. She looks at Aki. She tells Aki to not die so that when she goes he can cry for her. Akane calls for the snake to swallow. The snake eats the ghost devil's head. Akaning tells it to return and it disappears in the mist. Aki sees that Himeno has disappeared too. Katana Man tells Akaning that Power ran away. She says their target is the Chainsaw Man's heart, so it doesn't matter. We see the ghost devil's hand hop towards Chainsaw Man and pull his string. This makes him wake up, and he gets up. Katana Man says he will cut him right down the middle. Akaning tells him to make sure to not damage his heart. Chainsaw Man says he thinks that these two are the bad guys, and he loves bad guys because no one cares when they are in pain. And they both get ready to fight each other. Chainsaw Man jumps and attacks Katana Man, who gets ready with his swords. Akaning uses her radio phone to call for backup and we see that Aki is still on his knees and has lost a lot of blood. Chainsaw Man and Katana Man are fiercely fighting each other. Katana Man slices the ground which makes a lot of rocks fly towards Chainsaw Man. Katana Man slices Chainsaw Man, and the next hit makes Chainsaw Man slam into the wall. Katana Man attacks again but Chainsaw Man dodges him. Both of them stand up and two men with guns arrive. Katana Man tells them to aim for his heart and his arms, but Chainsaw Man hits both of them and they fall down. Katana Man and Chainsaw Man start fighting again, and a man starts shooting bullets at him from the floor. Denji attacks him and holds him in his hands. He tells Katana Man that if he moves then he will cut his friend's head. Katana Man tells him he is a piece of shit and kneels down on his knees. Denji thinks that he is surrendering, but suddenly he vanishes and shows up behind him. We see both Chainsaw Man and his friend sliced into two. We see Katana Man pick Denji up and ask the other man to quickly bring the car. He then says maybe he doesn't need to rush cause all of Chainsaw's friends are dead. We see Katana Man's face melting as he becomes his human self. He says devil hunters are humans who will lose to guns. We see the dead bodies of all the devil hunters that have died. We see Himeno's clothes and Makima's body, and a man looking at it. The man goes to his other partners. When the man turns around he sees Makima is alive and standing. He pulls out his gun. In the next scene we see two hunters, Tendo and Yutaro, waiting for Makima's train. A man comes and informs them about the attacks. They say that Makima is dead. But right then the train comes and scared people start running out. We see someone with a bloody coat and shoes come out. Both the hunters are shocked. It's Makima. She asks them to clean up the bodies. They ask her about the blood and if she's okay. She says that it's not hers and that she wasn't shot. We see the dead bodies of the assassins with a big hole in them. Police have gathered outside the station. Two hunters ask Makima if they should go to Tokyo. She says they won't make it in time, and that Denji is their main objective so they will protect him from Kyoto. She asks Yutaro to gather 30 convicts who are serving life sentences or worse and asks Tendo to find a temple on a high altitude. She also asks for clean clothes. In the next scene we see two prison vans and the prisoners in them eating food. One of the prisoners asks where they are going. Another prisoner responds who knows. The men driving the vehicle tell him to be quiet. In the next scene we see Makima wearing a shirt. She tucks her shirt in and is wearing her tie when we see a shadow outside the door. It's Tendo and she tells her the prisoners are a few minutes away. The prisoners arrive and one of them looks up and sees a lot of stairs of a temple. In the next scene we see Katana Man, his crew, and a guy dragging Chainsaw Man to the van. The man asks the driver to help him carry Chainsaw Man. He goes in to help but right then he sees a crow. He gets scared. The man asks him to hurry up but he says that something isn't right. Then suddenly he gets crushed and dies. Akanin uses her phone and asks if Makima is dead. A man says he hasn't heard from Team C, but before he can finish, he too gets crushed and he dies. Crows fly away from near him. Akane realizes it's Makima's doing. Makima is in the temple standing with her palms joined. She has blindfolded all the convicts and they are all sitting on their knees. Both the devil hunters stand behind them. Even they are blindfolded. Makima asks a prisoner to say a name. He repeats the name after her. She starts pressing her palms together. In Tokyo, Katana Man asks the man to put Denji in the van. The man suddenly stops and as Makima rubs her hands more he gets crushed and bursts open. The convict dies too. Makima walks to another convict. She asks him to say another name. He repeats after her. Another one of Katana Man's goons gets crushed. One of the goons gets scared and starts running away. One by one Makima starts crushing all the assassins and the convicts die too. The goon that ran away grabs a girl and puts a gun to her head. He screams help me, but he gets crushed too. Everyone has died, only Akanin and Katana Man remain alive. Akanin says she thinks it's stopped. We see that all the convicts are dead. Makima tells the hunters to remove their blindfolds. They look at Makima. She says she's done everything she could from Kyoto and will return to Tokyo now. Akanin says this power has to be Makima's. She says they should leave and Katana Man says he thought they shot her. Akanin sees something in the distance. It's Kobani standing there looking at them. In a flashback we see that the old lady shot Arai, but he saved Kobani from getting shot. Kobani stands with a radio phone and asks if we're with the shooters. Akane hears this and calls her Snake. The snake attacks Kobani, but she starts running on it. Katana Man starts shooting at her, but she cuts his hand. She then catches his gun and shoots him in the back. Akane grabs a gun. She tries to shoot Kobani but she grabs Chainsaw Man and uses him like a shield. Akane puts Katana Man in the van and gets in it. She gets in the front seat and Kobani shoots at her again. She starts the car and drives off with Chainsaw Man in Kobani's arms. She looks at her drive away and then looks at Denji. She gets sad and apologies to Denji for trying to kill him before. She says that apologizing for attempted murder is hilarious, and starts crying and laughing at the same time. She remembers how Ari jumped in front of a bullet to save her. She says that she is going crazy. She remembers how she shot the old lady with her own gun and Ari's dead body. She says that he protected her. She feels guilty and says that she will quit public safety. Later we see Makima and the two hunters have arrived in Tokyo. A hunter named Maruka is there. Makima says she's glad that he is alive. He tells her that only non-human members have survived. He says that the bosses have decided to merge all of the divisions, and it will be under Makima's command. He gives her an envelope and says it's his resignation letter. He says that this job is too dangerous and he doesn't want to die. She starts leaving and Maruka asks if she knew this would happen. She says she will get his letter where it needs to go, and leaves. Tendo and Yutaro give each other awkward looks. They say that they only came to help and will return to Kyoto in a week. Makima says, "It's a shame because the food in Tokyo is to die for." In a hospital, the TV has a news channel on and reports that yesterday public safety devil hunters were engaged in a battle. The TV switches off and Aki opens his eyes. He sees that Power and Denji are sitting next to him reading a manga. Denji is eating an apple and Power sees it and tries to steal it from him. Denji says the apples are not for cowards that run away. Power says she went because she was hungry. Aki tells them to stop and asks who survived. Denji tells him Kobani and the guy with glasses survived, but he quit. Aki doesn't say anything. Denji says Makima was asking for them so they are leaving. Denji takes the whole bucket of apples but leaves one for Aki and leaves. Aki just sits there in silence. He doesn't say anything. He looks at his sword and picks it up from the floor. He takes a deep breath and pulls it out. He asks the cursed devil how many years he has left. Curse shows up behind him and says 2. He picks up his lighter and cigarettes. He takes one out and puts it in his mouth and tries to light it up, and we see the sparks. When looking at the flame, he remembers Himeno. The cigarette drops from his lips and he breathes heavily. He goes to pick it but crushes it in his fingers and starts crying. Denji is standing outside the door and hears him cry. He says that he came back for his book, but he gets that he is crying because he lost all his friends and Himeno. Denji thinks about Himeno and wonders why he didn't cry. He was sad when Posita died, but he doesn't feel anything for Himeno. Even though Himeno was the first person that called him her friend, he thinks to himself that he wouldn't cry for Power or Aki either. He wonders if he would be sad if Makima died. But he realizes that even if he is sad for a day or two, but he would be back to happy soon. He wonders if when he lost his human heart he lost his human emotions. Also, he says there is no point in thinking about it and tells Power that they should go to Makima. As soon as they leave, Tendo and Yutaro arrive. They meet Aki, who doesn't know them. They tell him they are here to coach the squad on Makima's request. Yutaro asks if he can eat the apple. In the next Makima, Denji and Power are walking in a graveyard. She tells them they will need training. Denji asks if she will train them herself. She says she is a bit busy, but she knows the perfect person. They stand behind Kishibe, and she starts introducing him, but he tells her to shut up and says he has questions for Denji and Power. He asks them about their friends dying, but they don't care much. Then he asks if they are on the devil's side or the humans. Denji says whoever treats him better, and Power says the one that's winning. He looks at them and turns around and says they have the perfect score and tells them that hunters like them are rare. He says he loves it and tells Makima he will start with them right now. Makima leaves and Kishibe hugs them. He introduces himself and tells them to call him master. He hugs them really tight and then breaks both of their necks. He chokes both of them until they stop struggling, and when he lets them go they can't even move. He says their skeletons are still of humans, and a broken neck means they are paralyzed. He takes out blood from his coat and pours it in their mouth. They both get up and Denji asks why he did that. Kishibe tells him that he was training them, and the gun devil wants Denji's heart so he has to fight better. Power asks how breaking their necks is training. Kishibe says that one day when he was drinking he had the best idea. Since he is the best devil hunter, he will hunt them, and until they are strong enough to make him beg for mercy he won't stop. Denji says he is just a drunkard, but they will arrest them if they kill him. Power makes a hammer and gives it to Denji. He attacks Kishibe but he dodges it, and he stabs him with his knife and puts it into his skull. Power runs to attack him but he takes the knife out of Denji's skull and cuts her also. Denji is down on the floor while Power is holding her blood in. Kishibe says that Denji is immortal and Power is semi-immortal. They have no human rights. He tells them that when he is done with them they will be badasses. In the hospital, Aki is trying to call Khan but he doesn't show up. Yutaro says he won't show up because Aki has called him too often and is now on his bad side. He asks him how many times he can use his sword. Aki asks how that is coaching. Tendo tells Aki they are consulting them about their careers. She thinks it would be a good idea for Aki to retire. Yutaro says if he is gonna stay he needs to be prepared. Tendo thinks the way to go is signing a contract with a powerful devil. Yutaro asks if he is gonna quit or stay in public safety. Aki says the devil that killed his family and his partner is still alive, so he can't quit. Yutaro says he understands and says it's time to leave and they will meet him tomorrow. While leaving, he says what they heard in Kyoto was true. He tells Aki they said everyone in the special division is crazy. He asks him to give staying another thought and leaves. When he is outside, he tells him he has another visitor. A woman slowly enters his room and Aki looks at her from the side of his eye. When Aki sees her, he gets completely shocked. Later in the night, Kishibe tells Denji and Power it is time to go home. He tells them he will pick them up from their place tomorrow. Denji is so tired he lies down on the ground and groans in pain as Power watches him. She starts hitting him on his face, cause she thinks he broke his brain. After she is done, Denji gets up. He asks her how many times he died. Power says she witnessed him die 20 times, but she can't be sure cause half of the time she wasn't conscious too. While walking home, Denji is worried about how his life will be from now on. Both of them suddenly stop. Denji starts calling Kishibe names and says he hates him. Power agrees. Both of them decide to defeat him using their brains. Denji says just thinking about it is making him feel smarter. The next day, Kishibe shows up at their apartment. Both of them are wearing glasses to appear smarter. Power says let the warfare begin and creates a spear from her blood and throws it through the door, but he dodges it. Kishibe says the roles have reversed. Power has kept bottles of blood on the floor above and turns them into spears attacking Kishibe, but he dodges them again. He breaks the spears. Denji jumps down from the floor above and attacks him with his axe, but Kishibe kicks Denji, which makes him fall to the ground. Kishibe drinks from his flask and says he is impressed, but they failed because of two reasons. They used too much blood, which made Power weak, and Denji wasn't ready for a counter-attack. He still says nice try and that this is enough for today. Denji tells Power they are done for today and she gets happy, but Kishibe throws a knife which gets stuck in Denji's head. Kishibe says a beast shouldn't trust anything. A hunter says to them. In the next scene we see Aki, Yutaro, and Tendo going down a high-tech lift. Yutaro asks Aki to prepare himself because a powerful devil will ask for a rough deal. Tendo says that working again is like jumping in a lion's den. The place looks like a jail, and Yutaro says when they capture a devil alive it's kept here, and they are trying to find one suitable for Aki. He asks Aki if the girl in the hospital was his girlfriend. Tendo says he should pry in private lives. Aki tells them it was her partner's younger sister, and she had letters to give him. In a flashback we see Aki with a letter in his hand. The younger sister tells him she thinks he should read them. He opens the letter up and starts reading it. The letters talk about Himeno's father and how she thinks Aki is a really reliable partner. She really wants Aki to quit because she doesn't want him to die. At present time we see Aki, Tendo, and Yutaro walking. They stop in front of a room. Yutaro says this is the future devil and one hunter gave half their life while the other gave both their eyes for a contract with it. Tendo puts in the passcode that opens the door and Aki walks in. The door behind Aki closes, and all Aki can see in front of him is Future's eye. Aki stands there quietly and the eye just stares at him. Aki, Tendo, and Yutaro are walking and stop outside a prison room. Yutaro says this is the devil they picked for him. He tells him it's the future devil and only has a contract with 2 hunters. Tendo puts in the code that unlocks the door. Aki walks in and the door behind him closes. The future devil's eye stares at him. He walks out the shadow and repeats the future rules. He starts dancing and singing the future rules and asks Aki to say it with him. Aki says he is here to make a contract, and he just wants to know what he wants from him. He says that he wants to look into Aki's future to see what he wants. He tells Aki to put his head into his stomach. Aki walks towards him and sticks his head in his stomach. The future devil does a little dance and starts laughing. He puts his finger on Aki's chin and says here's the deal. He says he will settle into his right eye. He doesn't want anything because Aki is gonna die in the worst possible way. He starts telling Aki how he will die. Aki stops him and says he doesn't care. He just wants revenge and tells him to get in his eye. In the next scene we see Power and Denji on the floor. Kishibe says they are getting better and tells them from now on they will just practice once a week. Both of them are happy to hear this. He tells them that tomorrow they will be in live combat. They are going to fight Katana Man and a cane, and if they don't succeed it will be the end of Special Division 4. He says he hopes they win cause if not he will have to kill them. Denji says he will beat Kishibe and thanks him. He says he is stronger now and can kill all kinds of devils. In the next scene we see that at a restaurant Kishibe is drinking and Makima is thanking him for training Denji in Power. He tells her that his drinking gets worse every time someone he trains is killed. Makima says he wanted to discuss something. He asks about the attacks and says he thinks Makima knew about them and let them happen anyway. She says she was targeted as well. He says he doesn't care if she is doing it for the best of humanity. She says she wants to save as many people as she can from devils. She says if they win tomorrow he will be a hero in the public, and then he can work better out in the open. Kishibe tells her that she is full of shit. The next day we see a katana man, a cane and their gunmen in a room. One man tells the katana man their boss is at the villa and they should go. Akane says that because Makima is alive they aren't safe anywhere. The katana man says Denji will come and this time he will kill him. She asks them not to worry about the katana man but they should try to not get bitten. Katana man tells them his granddad left him zombies and they are in the basement. Akane says by using them they will beat Special Division. Aki, Yutaro and Tendo are in a car and Yutaro tells him they will go home today and will probably never see him again. He asks Aki if he really thinks he can defeat the gun devil. He says that Aki lost to assassins, so how will he defeat a monster who has killed millions of people? He tells Aki that he and Tendo also joined public safety to kill the gun devil, but they won't hunt him because that is crazy. He says it makes him angry that Aki thinks he can. He asks Tendo to just look at him and she tells him to calm down. Aki says he doesn't care what he has to say, and he will fight even if it is hopeless. He says they can laugh when he dies, but the only way he can live is knowing that he tried. They drop Aki off at the headquarters. Aki says thanks and walks away. Yutaro calls for him and throws a can at him. He says Aki pisses him off but he likes him and has advice. He says only crazies end up in special divisions, so he should watch himself. He then gets in his car and drives away. In a villa we see the boss of the Yakuza. Makima thanks him for meeting with her. He tells Makima he wasn't the one that ordered the hit on the hunters. Showing her a photo of Akane tells her the men signed a contract with the gun devil. She asks what the terms were, and the boss says it was 20,000 yen. She says she wants the name of all the men that signed the contract. Even if they were from other gangs, he says that would mean a war. He takes out a cigar and starts smoking it. He says if they wipe each other out the foreign gangs would take over. He says that the Yakuza keeps the people safe from foreign gangs. Makima takes out a package and the boss thinks it's a bribe. But Makima tells him it has something from the loved ones of everyone in the room. She says it is their eyes. The boss opens the package and sees many eyes in it. Makima says she knows someone who can attach them back. One of the men goes to punch Makima, but his nose starts bleeding and he drops dead. She says she knows the Yakuza think they are a necessary evil, but if they really were then the state would keep them under their control. In the next scene, the police have reached the building where Katana Man and Akane are. Akane says that once they have Denji's heart she will call the snake, and they will exist. Outside the building Power and Denji are confident they will win. Kobeni says she hates her job. Aki asks Kishibe what the plan is. He says that the special division will go in all at once. After Aki, Power, Denji and Kobeni go in, the police introduce themselves to Kishibe. Kishibe tells them their job is to guard the exists. They will take care of the terrorists. He tells them there is one catch. Special Division Faye is mostly non-human. If they go out it will be more dangerous than the terrorists. He introduces them to the devils. In the next scene we see a man that's floating in air and the floor like it's water. Kishibe says he is the shark fiend. He goes to bite a man but he kicks him. The shark fiend says he mistook him for a zombie. He starts punching zombies and Kishibe says that he is the violence fiend. He says that he wears a mask filled with poison. The violence fiend sees a girl and tells him to leave. She turns towards him, and he realizes she is a devil. Kishibe says she is the spider devil and she starts killing zombies using her spider legs. A zombie's face rolls towards someone's foot. The man picks the head up and starts eating it. Kishibe says he is the angel devil and if someone touches it they lose years of their lifespan. We see zombies dying and Aki slicing them with a sword. The angel devil asks him for a hanky. Aki gives it to him, and the angel devil says he is brave for coming this close to it. A man shoots at Aki but the devil stops it with his wing. Aki runs to the shooter and punches him. He tells angel devil to take him outside. He says he would rather do that than fight. Aki tells Kobeni, Denji and Power that they will go find Katana Man and Akane. He says they will split up and search for them. We see a lift going up. Aki gets out and walks past a room. The door opens and a man comes out and shoots at him. Aki punches him on the chin. Then 4 men come out of another room and point their guns at him. But they start bleeding through their nose and die. Aki looks confused. In the next scene we see Makima walking out the villa smiling. We see Aki walking into a dark corridor. He finds Akane here. He tells her to surrender. She says snake to spit it out. A wind blows towards Aki, and then he sees the ghost devil in front of him. He gets ready to fight. We see that Akane is bleeding through her nose. She orders the ghost to kill him, but Aki starts cutting all the hands the ghost devil throws at him. Akane says he is better than he was before. We see Akis is using the future devil. We see Aki cut even more of the hands the ghost devil throws at him. The future devil says even if he sees the future it is just a peek, and the ghost devil pushes him back and hits him in the ribs and grabs him by his throat. Akane orders the ghost devil to keep squeezing till Aki is dead, and it tightens its grip and Aki starts choking. Aki is getting choked in the ghost devil's hand. In a flashback we see Himeno offering him his first cigarette. After trying to say no, Aki finally takes the cigarette. At present time the ghost devil has stopped choking Aki and he is alive. Aki looks up at the devil wondering what happened. It is holding its fist forward towards Aki. The ghost devil opens his palm and gives him the same cigarette. Himeno said she will save. Aki looks at the cigarette and easy revenge is written on it. Aki shuts his eyes, grabs the sword next to him and gets up. He explains that the ghost devil has no eyes and it only sees fear. Aki starts walking on the ghost devil and climbing it. He stands on its head and takes his sword out. He remembers Himeno and says he will be with her soon and then slices the ghost devil's head. Its head falls down and Aki stands on its body and looks at Akane. She gets scared and is gonna call for the snake. But Aki says don't we see that Kobeni is behind her holding a knife to her neck. Aki walks towards them and asks Kobeni why she stayed when she could have left. She says their bonuses are gonna come. In the next scene we see a lift go up with Denji and Power in it. Denji sees Power eating a zombie's hand and says that's gross. Power says meat is meat no matter who it belongs to. Denji doesn't agree. They both start fighting and the elevator door opens. The whole floor is filled with zombies. Denji whispers that they haven't seen them so they should just leave, but Power screams and declares a war. She asks Denji to protect her back but he quietly leaves. She starts killing the zombies and notices a giant zombie there. She asks Denji to bear witness and then jumps on its neck and beheads him. Meanwhile, Denji is going up the lift. The door opens at the 13th floor, and Denji grabs his string. Katana Man is standing there. Denji says he has been looking for him. Katana Man asks him to wait. He wants to talk. He tells Denji that based on their talk they are willing to turn themselves in. The elevator door behind Denji closes. He tells Denji that he killed his grandfather and he should atone for that. Denji says they were already zombies. This makes Katana Man angry and he says they were human at one point and asked Denji if he felt bad. Denji says no. He tells him that his heart has been replaced with the Katana Devil, but he still can't sleep when he remembers the zombies he has killed. But Denji is just heartless. He says Denji should just let them kill him. Denji says no, and Katana Man says that's that as he removes his hand to unleash his katana. Denji pulls his chain. Both of them break through the building and fall down. Denji and Katana Man are blade against blade in midair. Katana Man kicks Denji and he falls on a building's roof. He tries to land on Denji but he quickly gets away. He tries to hit Denji but he keeps dodging him and walking back. Katana lands a kick which forces Denji back to the edge of the roof. He runs and kicks Denji which makes him bounce from rooftop to rooftop and he finally lands on a moving train. Katana Man gets on the train and tells Denji he is now better. He asks Denji why he is fighting, and Denji says it is to protect his lifestyle. Katana Man asks what the humans gave him. Denji says it is not all good but he still likes it. He says he will beat him to impress Makima. Katana Man says he is delusional and they both run towards each other and start fighting. Sparks fly every time their blades connect. Katana Man gets one successful connection, which makes Denji fall a few feet away. Katana Man jumps at him from the sky, and they both fall inside the train. The train stops so people can leave. Katana Man hits Denji and he falls next to a girl. Katana Man gets ready to attack and Denji goes in to protect the girl. He attacks his arm instead and cuts it off his body. The lady runs away. Katana Man goes down in an attack pose and appears behind Denji. He has chopped his other hand too. Katana Man says that Denji is done and can't fight anymore. He says that before he kills him he wants an apology for his grandfather. Denji says he can still fight. He says the chainsaw on his head is still working. They attack each other and land facing away from one another. Katana Man says my granddad didn't teach us when to quit. We see that Denji's chainsaw is now broken. Katana Man says he is now gonna die. The Chainsaw Man says he just attacked his head, and that was so predictable. Katana Man has sliced open into two parts. Denji says didn't his granddad teach him he shouldn't trust what a hunter says, and we see Denji take out a blade from his leg. Katana Man falls to the ground and when he opens his eyes again, he is in his human form tied up. Denji tells him when he took the katana out of his heart his body stuck back together. He says that he is waiting for the cops to come and get him, but he is unsatisfied. He says that he did terrible things, killed a beautiful girl, and will go to jail and won't even be sorry. This doesn't sit right with Denji. Katana Man says that Denji can't do anything about it because he is just a dog for public safety. Denji has an idea for a contest. Aki reaches the location and asks what Denji means. He asks Aki if he wants to join his contest too. Aki asks what he means. Denji explains since he killed Himeno, they should kick his balls and whoever gets the biggest scream out of him, wins. Katana Man says he is psychotic. Aki says their job was to catch him, not torture him to feel good. Aki takes out the cigarette from his pocket and stares at it. He gets up and asks what he will get for winning. Denji says Katana Man's balls, of course. They start walking in to kick him, and he cries out for mercy. In the next scene, the police have captured the terrorists and everyone is calm. Kobeni sighs. Power yawns. The angel devil looks up at the sunset. And Denji and Aki are kicking Katana Man's balls. Aki wonders if Himeno can hear his screams up in heaven. In the next scene, Makima is telling the boss that Akane made a contract with the gun devil. The boss asks why she wanted the chainsaw devil's heart. Makima says they couldn't ask. We see in a flashback that the snake devil came and ate her head. Makima says that the good news is they got the gun devil's flesh from the site, and now the pile they have is big enough to attract the main body. Power and Denji are laying on the floor after eating dinner with Aki. Aki goes to the balcony. He takes a cigarette out and it's the same cigarette that says easy revenge. He lights the cigarette up and smokes it. We see the smoke dissolve into the air. Denji is sleeping inside. He sees the same dream he saw when the season started. He is in an alley and goes to open a door. Denji thinks to himself that it's the same dream he always has. We hear Pachita from the other side of the door. Denji goes to open it, but Pachita tells him to stop and never open this door no matter what. In the next scene, the sun is out and we see a woman's legs walking up some stairs. She asks Denji if he would rather be a country mouse or a city mouse. That's all for today. If you want the next part, comment next part. We'll make it once this video hits 10,000 likes. Also, tell us which character you like the most in the comments. And thanks for watching. You guys are the best.